Yate, Shede Stephen Tully Inishia, Kia Ani Nishan, Kintlichini, Loa Basichin, Tede Skijni Desache, Ozea Shehan, Dashanella. Hello everyone in Com 467. I just introduced myself using my native tongue, which is the Navajo language or the Nepisag. And my project is actually about that, how we utilize digital technologies and language revitalization. I like this project because it was, incorporated in my culture and the material that we have learned thus far in the semester. In recent years, we have seen a combination of digital artifacts and cultural practices that manifest online. I believe this notion holds true when it comes to the revitalization of indigenous languages, particularly my Navajo language. Traditionally, one would learn this language by being submersed in the actual environment or the culture itself. Whereas nowadays, we can use different resources, whether it be online or through our phones or something like that, which is definitely a new world that we're looking into. So as you can see, I'm using a video platform again, like I did for my previous digital display, although this time I'm doing it in a more YouTube vlogger style or video blog because I like the text, but it didn't really work out in video format, or maybe I'm just not that experienced enough. Or we can utilize English to Navajo online dictionaries, which I've used multiple times for translation questions. There's a Facebook page that I use that you can ask questions, and then some people might have already answered, so you can utilize those. And there's also YouTube videos, two particular YouTubers in question that I want to kind of bring to attention. First one, his name is Terry Teller. He actually lives on the Navajo Reservation. And then there's also another gentleman named Mooney Littman. He's kind of more of a comedian, I guess you could say, who makes comical YouTube videos. But I think it's a great amalgamation of cultures. And so those are the four resources that I'm going to be talking about in conjunction with the digital rhetorical theories that we've been talking about. The four theorists that I've enjoyed and that I like their work that I want to utilize is James Zappin with identity and community formation within digital spaces, and then Damien Pfister with his technoliberalism and the precision, connection, and innovation. Maybe not so much precision, but definitely connection and innovation. And then Ashley Hinnick when she's talking about fluidity within digital spaces. And then the last one is Brent Lunford when he talks about the digital spaces and the body and how we utilize the body, or no, sorry, digital media as an extension of the body. So jumping right into it, we're kind of gradually evolve from like a more basic resource to a more complex resource. So the first one I have is an English to Navajo dictionary online, which I kind of equated with really Ashley Hinnick's piece on fluidity. Ashley says, in a fluid world, individuals have a large number of choices of group membership and can move in and out of these group memberships easily. Plus, also, I think works well in conjunction with James Zappin's piece on identity and community formation. I personally consider myself a semi-fluent speaker in the Navajo language, and that is a part of my identity, and I can transition fluidly through digital spaces and reality. For example, there are times when I have trouble translating a word from English to Navajo. If there is no one around, I will use an online English to Navajo dictionary that is readily available on my phone or laptop. Even if I can't find it there, I can seek help from my Facebook community page. With this information, I can fluidly move my language identification between digital spaces and the material world. So the next resource that I wish to discuss is the Facebook page or Facebook community page when it comes to language, particularly Denepizan, and how I guess it relates to mostly James Zappin's piece. Um, James Zappin gives a great notion of the formation of identities and communities within digital spaces. Studies of the new digital media also explore some of the purposes and outcomes of communication in digital spaces, not only to persuade for the purpose of moving audiences to action or belief, but also self-expression for the purpose of exploring individual and group identities and the participation in creative collaboration for the purpose of building communities of shared interests. This notion of identity formation, I think, can be translated across all resource platforms mentioned previously, especially within the Facebook page community and YouTuber followers who have the shared interest of learning or advancing their Navajo language fluency. So the third resource that I want to utilize is this gentleman by the name of Terry Teller. He is a YouTuber, goes by the name Daybreak Warrior, and he makes YouTube videos to help you learn the Navajo language. We are going to watch one where he kind of just discuss quickly how to say the numbers 0 through 10 in the Navajo language. But, you know, from the digital aspect, or the digital rhetorical aspect theory side, I feel like it can be, you know, utilized in all aspects. You know, James Zappin's identity formation, you know, he is a part of a YouTuber community. And then we have Ashley Hinnick's piece with fluidity. So, you know, his cultural identity and language identity is very fluid, moving within a digital space, especially having a YouTube platform. And then also the fact that I haven't discussed it yet, but Damien Pfister's piece, where he describes connection, innovation, and precision. If you watch my previous presentation, it was about, I discussed the notion of connection from a place that fostered a more disconnection view, and digital rhetoric being that there were no places to connect to the internet or online world. Now we're going to view the opposite side of connection in the context of a Navajo language revitalization with the use of digital technologies. We can view this concept of hyperconnection, since the two resources relied heavily on social media sites such as Facebook and YouTube. You know, I still argue that disconnection allows us to view other aspects, especially within the Navajo language, since there are some certain language elements that cannot be fostered in an online medium.
Good evening. So tonight I'm going to be showing you the numbers 0 through 10 in the Navajo language. So here are the numbers from 1 through 10 in the Navajo language. So you would be T'ahlai na ke, T'a di ashtla, Chastra sostit, Tsebi nahast'e nezna.
So the fourth and final component of my resource is this app that it was written, there was an article written about it in the Navajo Times, that, you know, there was a development of app to help teach Navajo language from your phone. I thought this was a digital rhetorical theory that in conjunction with it was Brent Lunsford, The Body and Digital Media. You know, he says, it is clear, however, that the new media technologies have created new ways of being in the world. As Marshall McLuhan puts it, media are extensions of the body. So simply put, you know, the physical phone then becomes a digital extension of Navajo language fluency. I think that this notion of media extension can be implied heavily on the Denepasat app. When using the app, you have to use your phone, and the phone itself is already an extension of your identity in multiple areas. Well, I think the phone is heavily utilized as an extension of the body. Any digital device can be an extension, which also, you know, goes back to Damien Pfister's connection as being hyper-connected, because now this app is on your phone and you're connected to the internet and, you know, social media. It's going to foster those lovely social relationships. And then even, you know, even going back to Zappin's piece about identity, you know, utilizing the app is part of your identity and your language revitalization identity. And then Hinnick's piece about fluidity, about how you can take the learning zone you can take from the app and then maybe even transfer it into the digital world, or even the material world, I guess you could say. So hopefully no one really fell asleep after all that, me constantly talking for almost about 9 minutes. Yay. So I just wanted to leave it on more of a lighter note. The fact that, you know, the internet is considered a playful place. As I said before, there is a YouTuber by the name of Mooney who is a comedian. We're just going to watch his video. Some background, in Navajo culture, everyone has their own clan, and you're not supposed to date with a person who has the same clan as yours. So the punchline is about that.
Oh man, it's good to go on the third day finally.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really liked it. I'm feeling good about this.
I think so too, yeah. Oh, there's my dad.
That's your dad?
Yeah.
You're half Navajo?
Yeah.
But you came out like really white.
It's genetics. I took after my mom.
Hey, sister.
Hey, little brother.
That's your brother?
Yeah,
He came out brown though.
I told you it's genetics, man.
Whoa, wait. What's your clans?
Synogyny.
Son of a...